the best digital effects are the ones that you don't realize are there. Like you go into a movie that is like effects heavy, you're expecting it.
Yeah, but you go see Clerks 2.
You're not,
like, oh, I didn't know
not
that.
expecting that.
So wait, that's a green screen?
Yeah. Those people aren't even real.
They were out of this supply chain, low lace potato chips. But they had to
you go see Avatar, or like I like to call it, Smurfs 2, and you want to go watch that one. It's just an animation, people. Guess what? The Navarro, whatever. What are they?
Navarro Cartel.
Welcome to season 3 of the Explain Everything podcast. In the next 30 minutes, your two best friends are going to help you stay the smartest person in every room. But if you don't favor this right now, Tyler will definitely walk into your home and push your ferns on the ground. Don't worry though, Neil would never do that. We've got new full episodes every Monday and a little baby bonus episode every Thursday. An all-new Explain Everything podcast starts right now. Looks like we made it.
I feel like we could do anything right now.
Yeah, we are on top of the world, Neil.
We are.
Looking down on creation.
We're like
I don't remember the rest of the song.
We're like a sorbet.
Yeah.
Really cleanse the palate after a really heavy meal.
Okay.
You know, like a fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh yeah, you just got to clean it
like
out.
The ones that, like clean the.
Give me another breadstick, Martha. And then you just down the. You remember Fazoli's? They did free breadsticks. Oh man.
So I've never eaten at Fazoli's.
Well, I did in college.
I don't know. Oh,
and that's the worst.
It's the Italian place.
Yeah, with free breadsticks. They walk around. They go free breadsticks.
Olive Garden has free breadsticks. Is that like the Italian thing? Is that like? Oh my gosh! Is that like when you get nachos and you go to the Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, so it's their chips and salsa.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Good,
Americans have to have a part of their meal where it's all you can eat calories.
It doesn't matter what it is.
No, it doesn't matter.
Man.
Yeah, we just got to get about 3K calories in just like before the meal.
I've never been to a Fazoli's. Hey, welcome to the
all the way sponsored by Fazoli's.
Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast,
where we just hang out with you.
We are
just you.
It's only you. You're the only one. We've never cared about anyone else.
Oh gosh,
as
there's
much
no question.
as we have cared about you.
My kid, I call him Kid 1, Kid 2, Kid 3,
and then you, listener.
Then you are I call you by your name.
By your name, yeah, you.
Which you know.
Hey, guy.
Say your name out loud.
Out loud. Shazam!
We are the one who knocks.
Okay, so that is Tyler Tarver. My name's Neil Greathouse, and that's weird. I never say my full name.
It's a great name.
That's because you do it.
I say Neil Greathouse.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, anyways, this is the.
I was like, say your full name like a weirdo.
Hey, Neil Greathouse.
Yeah,
it's weird. It is weird.
No.
We have full-length episodes every Thursday.
This is one of them.
No, that is a lie. We have full-length episodes every Monday.
This is one of them.
That is true.
You said it and I agreed with it. That's not right.
And then every Thursday, we have bonus episodes, which are about 5 minutes long, and we take you through 5 different things that are happening in the world to help you stay not dumb.
You know what I'm excited about? When those 5-minute episodes become 30-minute episodes, which it will happen.
That's your goal?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have told me that.
I got us to 8 a second ago.
You did.
I know. I'm going to get us to 10.
I'm going to edit.
Guess what's coming after that?
What you don't
12.
know is I'm editing that down. I'm going to do on times 2
Daddy.
speed it the whole time.
No, Daddy.
This week, oh my gosh, we got one that
It was a wild week.
I'm really excited. It's a wild one.
Yeah, wild week.
I'm very
Jim West.
Oh.
Desperado.
Oh wow.
I can't stop. Won't stop. Rockefeller Records. I'm sorry. I hate myself.
No, don't. No. We have a topic that is in the movie industry, the movie and television and arts industry, and I think this topic is going to be really, really good and insightful.
Yeah. Because I think it's going to visually affect you.
Because we have a visual effects crisis on our hands.
No.
VFX is what people call it.
PRB.
VFX PRB. PBR me ASAP.
You know me, stay OG. Just been low key. Hated on by most of you. Hey.
You get to tell I can do this all day.
I can do this all day.
So I don't know. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have a conversation with Tyler, and we're going to talk our way through this. But our goal is
that how conversations work?
That's how everyone else is listening in on our conversation. So digital effects. They're in every movie. They're actually what I love. The best digital effects are the ones that you don't realize are there. Like you go into a movie that is like effects heavy, you're expecting it.
Yeah, but you go see Clerks 2. You're
not,
like, oh, I didn't know that.
Expecting that.
So wait, that's a green screen?
Yeah. Those people aren't even real.
They were out of this supply chain, low lace potato chips. But they had to
go see Avatar, or like I like to call it, Smurfs 2. and you want to go watch that one. It's just an animation, people. Guess what? The what are they?
Navarro Cartel.
They're not real.
We're sponsored by the Navarro Cartel. Is that what we're sponsored
Hey,
by?
we want to say thank
Oh
you.
no, we got a clip.
Thank you for our sponsor.
Welcome to Paid Promotions. We're definitely not paid to promote portion of the podcast.
Yeah, so we'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks, Navarro Cartel,
Thanks,
for
Cartel.
not murdering us in cold blood.
Thank you for not murdering my entire family.
Neil, please stop. This is not a joke. First off, I don't want somebody on a crotch rocket to ride by and I don't need that.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah,
That'd be
Neil.
bad.
I've got
So they're sponsoring us by not killing us?
I gotta wait on my dissertation to get back from my readers.
You're so close, you guys.
So close. Well, unless they come back and be like, start over. This is trash. I'll be like, okay, bye.
Hey, thank you, Navarro Cartel, for allowing Dr. Tyler Tarver
Not
to
yet.
happen. It's
No.
no, it's going to happen. They're allowing it to happen.
By not killing me.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And Dr. Neil Greathouse.
That is not going to happen.
First off, yes.
Not unless I get like a Shaquille O'Neal honorary something or other.
Shaquille O'Neal actually got his degree. Stop it. Put some respect
We'll
on
say
his
a
name.
Will Ferrell honorary degree.
Yeah, or Bill Cosby.
Or Bill. Oh my gosh, I don't want that one. So there is a massive crisis in the visual effects
Way
world.
to bring us back.
We came back here. So there's a huge interview that is out there on YouTube, and you can go watch it right now. It's from two guys named Craig Barron and Jeff Oken. They came out and they said, listen, winning an Oscar for visual effects isn't the best thing that could happen to you. And that seems really odd. And they go on and they explain it. It may help the movie at the box office, but it doesn't actually help the visual effects house that did it. And this is a proven thing. So I don't know what is the first movie you can think of that the visual effects you're like, oh gosh, those were
Scorpion
awful.
King.
There it is.
No. It was in The Mummy when the Scorpion King came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first time he came out on screen, you're like, oh
Wait,
man.
was that one of the
That's awful.
Spider-Man? Spider-Man 1 or 2 had some really crappy special effects at one point, and you're just like,
I think it was
"Ugh."
2.
It took you out of the movie.
Yes. Yeah, which
Yeah.
I hate that. You're like, oh no. And I get it. You're trying to reach, you're trying to do something, but then also when it doesn't hit,
No, you don't want it to look like, oh wait, I'm watching a cartoon.
it
Like, you
can't
don't
be
need that.
distracting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a famous visual effects. Let me say this overarching thought before we really get into it.
Okay, I'll allow it.
In the visual effects world right now, there is a huge, I would say there's this tension because visual effects artists aren't being treated well at all in their field. They're basically being bullied by studios and by executives, and it's not good. How we got here is what we're going to talk about. So there's a visual effects house. It's called Rhythm and Hues, and it started in the 80s. They did these movies. See if you've seen these movies. You've seen The Abyss?
No.
You haven't seen The Abyss?
No, I was trying to find it, but I got lost in the abyss.
I saw. So Tyler gets this look in his eyes when he knows he's headed towards something that's really good that he's going to say.
Well, I skipped it a second ago. Because you were said, can I say it? Okay.
Yeah.
So did you hear about the Scarecrow?
No.
He was found to be outstanding in his field. I was saying it because you said they were something about their field. And I was like, trying to see, like, can I bring that together? Can I put that in here?
I'm telling you, he's quick.
No, that
everybody.
was not quick.
He's quick,
That was not
everybody.
smart.
So, the other movies that these guys have done is Young Sherlock Holmes.
I think I've heard of it. I don't know if I've seen any episodes.
How about Stuart Little?
Oh, the goat. Yeah.
Yeah. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes.
The Life of Pi.
No.
You didn't see Life of Pi?
It looks really boring.
What's interesting, yeah, and actually it kind of did. And what this movie won for was a lot of the visual effects. What this company, this visual effects company, really specialized in is real live actors interacting with visual effects.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right?
Not exactly,
Okay.
but man, that was ahead of its time. That actually holds
really
up.
was.
That movie really holds up.
Not for kids.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, my kids
Not good.
watched it with their grandmother. They're like, they were smoking, and then there was like another. By the way, so my kids watched cartoons for a while, and then Titus, I think he was like 6 or 7. I think he saw one of his one of his relatives light a cigarette up, and he goes, "Are they a bad guy?"
Oh,
because only bad guys smoke cigarettes in cartoons. Yeah.
Man, that was their full frame.
And I said, yes,
yes,
son.
they are.
He's a villain. We must defeat him.
Yes, to go take him out right now. So this visual effects house, they made all those movies, and the Life of Pi is where things started really going wrong. There was this tension, we'll get into it a little bit, between a director, a producer, and the visual effects house, because the visual effects house are usually the ones who have to clean everything up after the principal photography is done.
Yeah.
You're out there shooting, you're in front of green screens, you have markers, you have different people dressed up in, green screens and motion capture and all that kind of stuff. And then you hand that footage over to a VFX house and they're like, I got to work with this, and they can't reshoot it. Yeah. They can't demand everybody goes back. So that's why now VFX houses will have people on set that help with the entire process, but that is not happening anymore. There's such a huge shift between it. So Ang Lee is the guy who directed Life of Pi. And he made massive changes late in the game to the movie. But the problem is the release date of the movie doesn't change. Yeah. So all of a sudden you have major things you want to change. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Can you think of a movie that came out as a preview and there was such a reaction to it that everyone, the VFX...
Don't lead me.
What?
You know exactly what I'm going to say.
What is it?
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
People lost their minds because the preview of Sonic, like, that doesn't look like Sonic. Yes.
Okay, think about that. Okay.
So they changed it.
What happened just recently with the voiceover for a movie that's coming out?
What?
Oh, so the Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
People lost their minds. Jack Black did a great job. Keegan-Michael Key did an incredible job. All the different voice actors, and then all of a sudden, Mario shows up on screen, and it's just Chris Pratt's voice. It's like, hey, where am I? It was just Chris Pratt. People lost their minds. The internet really went crazy, especially Twitter. And I don't really get on Twitter all that often. I got in there, it took me like 4 hours to get back out.
Yeah, like, it's hard to remember a password, Neil. Logins are tough.
I'm sorry. So there's inside jokes right there. So the problem is these changes happen at the studio, and then they hand it over, but they're going, hey, listen, we still have a premiere date of this date. You guys now have to work. And because you're under contract, you can't just quit, because then they're going to threaten that you'll never work in this town again. And really,
I've seen that in movies.
I have. Yeah, you'll never work in this town.
And I never actually saw those people they said that to since then.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen them work
because they were
bunch of lazy. Yeah, they were. So what happened is Rhythm and Hughes, because they had to hire extra people, they had to do all this extra work. It put them into bankruptcy. They had to close their studio because of the movie Life of Pi. So Life of Pi, then, if it's coming out, it's out during all the holidays, which is a typical Oscar run, and then. The Oscars hit, what do they hit? Usually the first or second week of March. So they hit, and Life of Pi wins at the Oscars. So this is 3 months after the VFX house goes bankrupt. They get 4 Oscars. And this is I didn't realize this because I watched these Oscars. So these VFX artists get up there and they win an Oscar for best visual effects, and they're up there getting their acceptance speech, and they start to mention that there's tension. Hey, we want to say this to all the people that had to lose their jobs. We apologize, and their mic gets cut off.
Oh,
and they continue talking. And then you could see people visually in the audience got uneasy. There's a shot of Nicole Kidman. She's like, oh no. A lot of them realize what's happening. Their microphone didn't accidentally go out. They cut the microphone and they let them stand up there talking in silence before they even played the music. So it wasn't like the music comes on. They're up there. Now what's happening is they're up there getting these Oscars, but outside there are people picketing. There are people protesting because their entire livelihood got shut down because Hollywood is celebrating. I'm really fired up about this.
I know.
Hollywood is celebrating this movie, but the people who actually pulled it off got treated like garbage and lost their jobs. Any soundbite?
Took our jabs.
I was like, as soon as I said that, I lost their jobs.
I'm trying to be respectful.
It's okay. So
I told a scarecrow joke. So then,
no. The people want more of those.
I hate myself.
They want more of those. So then the problem is people are like, hey, you can't speak up, you can't say that, and then bullying becomes a problem. It's because now what is starting to happen is VFX artists are starting to speak out against Marvel.
Uh-oh.
This is where things are going to get dicey,
and they could do this all day.
Oh my gosh, they really. Well, yeah. After they make that shot work. after they make Captain America fight Captain America.
Yeah,
then we can do it all day. Yeah. So there are reshoots in Marvel movies. There's retooling. And the problem is all these guys that are working on the visual effects have signed NDAs and they are in danger of being blacklisted. And then they won't be able to work in this town ever again. So
sorry, that line, I love it.
Yeah, it's good. So the problem is a lot of the creative license is left up to directors and producers and the people who are what it's called downline, below the line. We'll look at that in a minute, but they're not locked in on decisions. They're not working towards the same vision because they're trying to flesh this out. Do you know what previs is? We've talked about that.
Yeah, I totally remember.
So
it's before it happens before the viz. It's the previs.
You have the viz, but then you have the
then you get your previs. It's like
do you have post viz?
Like you have fried beans and you have like refried beans. So you take them and you fry them again.
You have pre-beans and you have post-fried beans.
Everybody.
That's what everybody's calling
Previews and then post-views. And then you have just the view. That actually works.
That actually does.
It's a show.
That one works. It's good. So what ends up happening is like you're supposed to draw out what this movie is going to look like. They used to have storyboards. Now they do previews. They basically create a really low budget 3D animation of what the whole movie is going to look like.
Yeah.
And they agree on this beforehand. The problem is though, when they get into the edits, something like what happened with Sonic comes out. Okay, that happened. And the entire visual effects crew had to go back in and redo it. Are they getting paid extra for it? No, they're under contract already. And the deadlines don't change. They don't push the movie back and go, okay, you got another 3 months to make that look not weird. So that's very, very tricky.
Yep.
So think about movies that have had reshoots. What are movies that you know of that have had famous reshoots? The first one I think
World War
of.
Z.
Yeah. Oh,
they
gosh.
literally changed a third of the movie.
Was it the last half?
Yeah,
I guess
like 40,
it was the last.
Yeah. Like at one point you're watching it and they escort Brad Pitt's wife and child to the helicopter and you're like,
yes.
Is that Matthew Fox?
Yeah, you said it was really quick.
Yeah, and it's because it's just for like a second. And the reason is because in the last third of the movie, he actually like connects with Brad Pitt's wife, and like they have like I don't know if they have an affair or they almost do, but like there was a whole sub like
and he's
thing.
Just in there.
And now since they cut it, it's just him escorting him to the helicopter. You're
he's
like
a helicopter escort.
You're really famous. Why are you doing that?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
So, Avengers.
Are you lost?
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta go back.
We gotta go back.
Sorry.
So Avengers is a reshoot. There were tons of reshoots. Rogue One. A lot of people don't. There were tons of reshoots on it. Who directed that one? That's not Ron Howard, was it? No, it wasn't.
John Howard.
John Howard.
John Joward.
John Hamm.
Jingleheimer Smith.
John Hammerschmider Smith. Sonic the Hedgehog had a bunch of reshoots. Suicide Squad did. X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Wait, which Suicide Squad? James Gunn or the other one?
The first one. Okay. Not James Gunn.
Will Smith or Idris Elba?
Yes. Yeah. I proudly haven't seen 6 seconds of that.
Of the first one?
Yep.
It wasn't bad.
Was it good?
No.
That's one of my favorite things. Go like, how's that taste? Like, it's not bad. I mean, it's not good.
No,
it's not bad.
It's there.
It's there. There it is. Solo is one of the ones they lost. That's why we did an episode about the most expensive movies ever made, and the reason why this one was so high up on the list because they had to shoot it like 3 times because they had a second director. So all these massive reshoots happen, and people who are below the line. There are people that are below the line. They're not the main actors, not studio execs, not the producers. They're considered right in line with craft services. That's how studio execs view them. They're like, you're doing this and you're at another. So the reason why visual effects houses and other production companies are started is because they don't want it to affect the actual major motion picture studio itself. Like Warner Brothers hires out other production studios to do this because they don't want to take the fall. They want that company to go out of business if it actually happens. So the 2 biggest offenders in this visual effects crisis is Netflix and Marvel, which is sad.
Yeah.
But it's really...
Because they're not losing money.
It's bad. No, they're not. They're the 2 most criticized. They're too big. They're too powerful. And I don't know why I wrote down here that it feels like a toxic relationship. I genuinely don't know why I wrote that down now.
Because you're a notes guy. You're good at notes.
I like to have a...
He's good at notes, Neil.
If anything, it's too many notes. So this is a classic blunder. You know this.
She said.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
She said. I had nothing of value. I hate myself. I could see myself slowly getting cut from this. Absolutely. Welcome to the Neil Explain Everything podcast.
When you said classic, he said, she said, I think about that phrase like, hey, listen, it goes without saying, then why are you telling me? I cannot stand when somebody goes, listen, it goes without saying, but da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, you should have stopped with it goes without saying.
Oh, yeah. My mom, she'll say something, just saying, and I go, I know, you just said it.
Goes without saying. Classic.
You're a filler. Stop it.
He said, she said. So
I put my hand in her mouth where she does that. She goes, just I just stick my whole hand in her face.
Your
my
mom's
friends and
funny.
Have you ever... Have you ever?
So that was a hard no.
Have you ever done the thing where somebody's yawning and then you just stick your fingers in their mouth?
No, because there's germs in there.
We used to do that all the time.
You might as well try and unclog a
worst.
drain. That's gross.
That's exactly what you're doing.
I can't do it.
Okay.
I could not.
Someday when you're ready, just let me know. I could be that guy for you, Neil.
If your goal is to make me laugh so much that I'm like ha ha ha, so that you could just choke me. Just whack, whack. All right. The VFX artists on Avengers Endgame weren't told that the release date was pulled back by a month. They found out in a press release like everybody else did. Like, can you imagine you're working on one of the top grossing films? You're putting your everything into. Yeah. And then you find out, wait a minute, we have a month less to do this than before? That would infuriate. You know how this is just to be totally. I'll say this: designers, graphic designers, visual effects people can be a little. They can be a little bit in their feelings a lot, especially if you don't like what they've made. But the problem is,
you're an artist.
Yeah, you're an.
That's a TikTok trend.
Yeah. So they're overworked and they're stressed out. I'm not going to say this full phrase because our censors will get us on this one. There is a phrase that this is called, that overworked, stressed out, the execs aren't treating you well and they keep pushing deadlines on you. It's called pixel blanked, fudged. We'll say that.
Wow.
Pixel fudged.
Too close.
Is that too close?
It's the children's podcast.
I haven't got any time for this Mickey Mouse bull squash. Hands down, my favorite phrase ever. If you don't know, it's from Leon the Professional. Okay. It's Gary Oldman, who also plays Sirius Black, and every time I see him, I want him to say that. It's the TNT version of this. When in the real thing, he says, I don't have any time for this blankety blank something. But in the TNT version, he says it at a very tense moment. Haven't got time for his Mickey Mouse bull squash.
That's really good.
Yeah, I say it every day. I don't think a day has gone by in the last 30 years. That's not true. Okay. All right. So this is this being pixel fudged or whatever is really, really bad. And when people say that you like people in the VFX world know what that means. So here's something that happened. And you know me, I love Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Like I love him. He did something that is a no-no. It's not cool, man. Why am I looking at you while I'm pointing at this like I'm yelling at Taika? So on Vanity Fair, they have this thing where they break down a scene in movies, and I actually love it. They do it with like actors. Most of the time, it's directors. Ron Howard did an amazing one for the documentary they did about the kids in the oh gosh, I don't know if it's Korean that were stuck in the cave. So he's doing this with Tessa Thompson. They're doing this visual breakdown of scene with Thor: Love and Thunder. And they have this giant TV that they can like draw on in front of them. And he makes they're not supposed to be talking about this, but they break down a scene and he looks at this scene with Korg in it and he circles him and he goes, does that look real to you? And Tessa starts laughing and they both start laughing. We're like, no, it doesn't look good. Like, what about this other thing? They're like, no, that's not good either. The problem is they're laughing and noticing the scene looks off and they're calling out the VFX artists in public.
No bueno.
That's no bueno.
Tu es muy no bueno.
There is no way that's bueno.
No, tu es muy no bueno.
There's a disconnect between directors and the people that are doing the work. So I just knocked something over. I'm really fired up right now.
Bien.
Oh my
Mi malo.
laptop came unplugged, Tyler. My laptop came unplugged. All right, I'm back. So there used to be in movies 100 VFX shots. There are thousands now. I mean, let's just be honest. Like Black Adam, there's not a real thing in that entire movie.
No,
except
shot in just a green room with The Rock.
It totally was. You mean they didn't go to that country that they're Kondak or whatever it is? Okay, whatever. So there are thousands of them now. So the Phantom Menace used one VFX house. It used Industrial Light and Magic. That's how long ago was that? Was that 20 years? Are
At
those
least.
movies 20?
Yeah, they're 20.
Okay, that's 20 years ago. Rise of Skywalker, 12 VFX houses.
That's more.
When you get to Tyler has parceled down 8 pages of notes into one phrase. That's more.
I mean, check my facts. Check more than one.
I'm keeping receipts, and that is more. That is
I love that phrase.
I love that.
I say it now all the time, and then I have to explain it to the people I say it to.
Your kids. Yeah, you gotta say it to your kids. Listen, I'm keeping receipts. So, when you get to the movies and you're like, they have like this is actually the reason why you have a post-credit scene and a mid-credit scene. So they start off with the big names. So, all right, your movie is done and the credits start coming up. It's usually big actors, directors, producers, music, whatever. And then there's a mid-credit scene right there. That's not a post-credit scene. Post-credit means it's way at the end after a scroll of stuff goes by. Yeah. That's why they started making 2 of those, because people don't want to wait the 8.5 minutes that it takes to scroll through all the VFX artists.
They're like, I'll leave the watch on YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So Spider-Man had 3 VFX houses. The first one with Toby. So No Way Home had 14 VFX houses.
That's more.
It's common for 25 or more houses to work on the same film. So one of the worst visual effects movies ever. Cats.
Yes.
Directed by Tom Hooper. What else has Tom Hooper done?
Oh, he now works at the Waffle House.
I don't know what else he did. Yeah. Let me see here.
Cats is bad.
Yeah. How much of Cats did you see?
None.
You didn't see any of Cats?
Once Titus watched a YouTube video of somebody breaking down like the worst movies ever made, and Cats was on there. So now every time I'm like, what do you want to watch? He goes, Cats. Like he does it to try to say, one day I'm going to call his bluff.
Yeah, just make him do it.
I'm like, all right, cool.
So he directed The Danish Girl. He directed Les Mis. He directed A King's Speech. So, I mean, the guy's got some.
Yeah, I'm not watching any of those.
You haven't seen the King's Speech?
No.
It's difficult to watch. It's I don't know. It's okay. I think it has Colin Firth in it. I could be wrong. So those movies are fairly critically acclaimed, but none of them have a ton of visual effects. They just don't. So all of a sudden you get a guy like Tom, you get a guy, so Tom Hooper comes out and he makes his movie Cats. He's never done a movie like this before. And the problem is the deadlines are too tight. He has no grasp on how VFX works. And he demands every day that he sees dailies of fully rendered out everything. So everybody starts cutting corners because he doesn't want to just see like the actors without the visual effects stuff. He's like, I need to know exactly what that looks like. They spent all their time on making those for him on a daily basis, and then they stopped doing the other things. So this movie was released unfinished. They released this movie, and then as it was in theaters, they kept sending theaters the newest, latest version. It happened twice in theaters. So they're like, okay, here it is. So it constantly gets up. So James Corden walks out on the Oscars on stage, and he's dressed up as a good visual effects guy.
I've seen that.
And he starts talking. He's like, listen, we all know the importance of good visual effects. What's that lady's name that he's out there with? She's in what's the singing one? What's the singing movie?
The singing Taylor Swift. Oprah.
No.
Rock. Jason Statham. Vin Diesel. Paul Walker.
I would be any. You're just naming
Legend.
You're just naming the.
I Am Legend.
That's it. That was it.
Spartacus.
That was it. So this visual effects. So the problem is people we're starting to get really close to a VFX strike, just like there was a writer strike. That's where all of this is headed, because these people are getting hammered. They have no end in sight. These people are putting unfair expectations on them. And then I would say this is Tyler.
So you're telling me we got to watch stuff where people talk? We have to create like actual good dialogue.
The King's Speech.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch that.
I haven't watched it because I'm like, that looks boring.
I love stuff that has good VFX. The problem is, I feel like we're in a part of like the movies. Almost every movie we watch now has a ton of VFX stuff.
Yeah,
and the problem is it's not going well. Like it isn't done well, and a lot of this stuff that I'm watching, and I hate to say this, but even the last few Marvel movies and shows, the reason why I didn't watch She-Hulk is because it looks like a Saturday morning. It looks like something off a Cartoon Network. It just looks so bad. The animation in the CG and VFX work is so bad. And what did you think?
I thought it was good.
Okay, I just
saw a couple episodes. It was fine. I think she did a really good job with it. Like I enjoyed her.
Okay.
I did not like. I feel like the dialogue could have been. I don't know. It felt like a CBS laugh track sitcom.
Okay.
Without the laugh track, and
so there is no laughing in it.
No, there's no laugh track in it.
So it was not like I know it's not in front of a live studio audience, but they didn't make it. Okay. That makes it awkward.
And it's like weird. And she'll turn and talk to the camera, and Titus hates that. He hates breaking that fourth wall.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I'm like, Titus, how can they simplify the dialogue that's already simplified? I'm like, how
can they dumb this down for us?
I was like, come on, let's 2.5 guys this.
Yeah. So here's another beef. I got another beef. I got a rapper beef. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I don't like how they have taken the Oscars and they've said, hey, listen, all these visual effects and all that kind of stuff, we're going to do a separate Oscars before the real Oscars, and we're not even going to really make a big deal out of it, and we're going to send some B-list Hollywood actor over there to be the host of it, and they're going to do a 3-minute segment during the Oscars and go, hey, last week I had the privilege of spending time with the people you don't want to spend time with.
Carson Daly.
That. It's that kind of a, and then there's a real quick recap of all these people that made all this incredible innovation. Now, I do get it. Man, I'm fired. My blood pressure is through the roof. I just don't like, I understand the Oscars are about 4 hours now. They're too long. Then get rid of all the other fluff. Just put Will Ferrell and Jack Black back out there and let it go.
They're good.
I
like how they got up there at one time and they started mocking the fact that comedies don't win, even though they bring in a lot of money.
Yeah, they do.
That was good.
I get it. You at least honor these people in a way that makes sense.
Yeah,
but they don't.
No.
They don't, and you're not going to
pay them better.
Yeah, or give them more time. I honestly think some of these VFX guys. So I don't want to make something if it isn't good, but I also don't want my name to be on it if it isn't good. But if you don't give me enough time to do it, then it's pointless.
Yeah,
and I'm not even a VFX guy. But I've been on the edit side of things. You know what it's like when somebody pushes a deadline on you, and then you show it to them. Oh gosh, now we're going to get into it.
Yeah,
you get somebody who doesn't know how to shoot, doesn't know how to edit, doesn't know what that process is
and
like,
doesn't know what's funny, and they say it's not funny,
and they say, "Hey, I need you to cut that down in half."
Yeah, and then no, they don't say it's not funny. They say it's too long. Then you cut it down, and then they're like, "Well, it doesn't make any sense." I'm like, "Yeah, because you made me cut it in half."
Right? Yes, there needs to be some kind of accountability with that.
Yeah, not have their opinion. That's what it needs to be.
Studio execs, man, they can mess some stuff up.
Yeah,
fired up. All right, that's the VFX crisis, the visual effects crisis, where this is genuinely headed. We may have a strike soon. Think about that. What it did, the writer's strike, it ruined The Office for a while.
Yeah.
It ruined tons of shows that you see on TV and movies. There was about a 2-year time period where we didn't have anything good because it takes a while for the writers to come back in and then create something good, and then it get made, and you're like a year and a half down the road. If that happens with visual effects artists, all the movies that you're looking forward to, they're not going to get made if this thing goes to strike. And honestly, I don't know any other way that people are going to listen to them. They just keep wanting more money.
Well, if they can't watch movies, you know what they can do?
What?
Listen to podcasts.
There you go.
We have very minimal visual effects on our podcast.
Yeah, we do.
We hire out a company to do our visual effects.
Do we?
Yeah.
Man,
it's like,
are they any good?
Yeah, they're solid. I'm getting very choked up. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not saying like don't do movies that have a ton of visual effects. I'm just saying give these guys more time.
Give them more time.
And stop putting pressure on them to turn it around. And I mean, okay, so what's today? What's today's date? Today's the 26th of October. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 finished principal photography the first week of May.
Okay.
That movie won't come out until next May. They get a year to do everything that they need to do. It's not enough time.
Wait, is this 3, not the Christmas special, right?
Right.
Okay.
Not enough time. Because these guys aren't just solely working on this, they're doing other things. So they're working on all this other Marvel stuff, and then they have to work on Guardians. And so I think we have created this machine where we want so much more. Have you heard this thing of Marvel fatigue right now?
No.
There's a real genuine thing. There's Marvel fatigue. The problem is we're now in this mid-level tier of stuff. The problem is we got Avengers Endgame. We want everything to be that epic. It can't be. You have to have some character development and all this other stuff. But also some of the VFX and all this kind of stuff aren't that good. Why? Because we don't have enough time to cook them.
Yeah.
They're not baking for very long. So now all of a sudden they need to bake. It's not an easy bake oven.
I've got to cook.
I gotta cook. So you do need to give these people some more time. The problem is we, the general public, want more. I want more of these Marvel movies. I'm not. I'm not opposed to that.
Give me liberty or give me death.
This really is just about a half hour of me complaining.
It's great.
Pixel fudged.
This is where I want to be. I want to be nowhere else but here.
I love movies and visual effects and all that kind of stuff. I think the demand is too great. So the only thing I've said this 1,000 times. You either hire more people or you give us more time. That's the only two things you're going to do.
Exactly.
Because the cavalry's not coming.
Nope.
Either we do less or you bring more people to do it.
Exactly.
And they're not going to do that.
Nope.
Tyler, you're just agreeing with me.
Uh-huh.
Is it because I'm right?
Usually.
All right. This is the visual effects problem. The real question is, and I don't even know if this is even possible.
Will it?
No, there's no way.
The question on everyone's mind, will it rock? The answer is probably yes.
I don't think it will.
Yeah, it could.
How? What do you think he's going to... I don't think The Rock has a clue what it takes to actually make these movies. I don't think he has any idea.
Yeah. Oh, he does know. Because he wears suits without undershirts at every press conference.
You're right.
So that's the mark of somebody who's like, let me really dig into the minutia of visual effects and how this is impacting my movies.
I will say he's typically always been very muscular. He's almost unbelievable right now. I just happened to watch a really nice period piece that he made. It's not a lot of visual effects.
Black Adam.
Oh, that's what it was. It's a period piece.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's like the King's Speech.
Hardly any.
Yeah.
It was a lot of weighty dialogue.
Yeah.
A lot of.
He's always been accused of that. Yeah.
I don't think he's a great actor. I think he's an incredible showman.
Okay.
He is a promotion. He's a absolute What is it? What do we say he is on the Enneagram?
7? Or he's a 3 for sure. He's an achiever.
I think so.
Because he's constantly like trying to one up everything.
He's trying to one up himself.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, how do you
That's
even
the best
do
kind
that?
of achiever to be.
So the problem is, okay, a guy like that, the guy that he just made Jungle Cruise. Did you see Jungle Cruise?
I fell asleep in the first few minutes.
It's awful.
Lee, good?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And then you end up like making more of those movies that just require more visual effects to overcome the fact that you don't have great acting and a great story and all that kind of stuff. So no, I think The Rock, I'm not saying he's the problem, but we're
enabling him. That's what we're doing.
We absolutely are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to 3v3 this with like our least favorite?
Sure.
Do you want to 3v3?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. It's been a while since we 3v3.
Welcome to the party, pal. This is 3v3.
All right. So the way 3v3 works, Tyler and I each pick, is it us plus 2 others, or are we picking 3 that will compete against each other? How are we doing this?
You go first.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick movies, 3 different movies, and we're going to compete to see who wins. Is this a game of pickup basketball, or is this a game of who's worse? I think it's a game of who's worse. All right. So as far as bad visual effects, I got to go with Justice League.
Justice League?
Yes. Do you not remember they took Henry Cavill's mustache off? It could be one of the worst. And the reason why they had to take his mustache off is because the other movie that he was working on for Mission Impossible, what was it, Ghost Protocol or whatever that was?
Yeah.
He couldn't take the mustache off. He was already under contract. That one is absolutely awful. Okay, that's that one.
Okay, I'll go. We already said it, but In the Mummy Returns, Scorpion King.
Not much worse than that.
That was the first time I remember watching a movie and being like, "Ooh, what?"
Yeah, it's absolutely awful. I don't know if you have seen Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah,
I don't know that there is a worse when they're swinging through the jungle. It's the thing that I didn't go into Indiana Jones 4 hoping to get reality.
Yeah.
I went into it for like the spectacle, but it's like the Jeeps are driving through the untamed jungles, and they're not hitting any bumps. It's just like they're gliding over it. Like, yeah, that's absolutely awful.
Awful. My turn?
Yes, please.
Air Force One. In Air Force One, if you remember it, like the whole, like this movie, it's a good movie. You're into it. And then at the end when the plane crashes,
yes,
you're like, was this done on my Uncle Ned's computer from the 80s?
Awful.
I was like, what is this?
Right. I forgot about how bad that one is.
That was rough.
I don't know. I don't want to say, oh gosh, I'm going to do it. I hate to do this. This is awful. Green Lantern.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan. It's so I remember at the time, do you remember when you were wanting to see pictures of him in the Green Lantern costume? And you're like, oh, that's right. But they're going, no, we're doing it all in CG. Yeah. We're like, wait, what? That was one of the first ones where they completely
said that
we'll figure it out later. And it didn't go well. It looked so weird. So he didn't have the mask on his face. He didn't have the costume on. He just had like a blue screen suit on with a bunch of dots on it.
You know what I think they should do? Like for these movies where like they just royally messed up.
Yeah.
Like get the raw footage of him wearing the blue suit or the green stuff.
And let somebody else do it.
And just stick it on the internet.
Yes.
And just let fans take it and run with it.
I think they've done that.
That's a fantastic idea.
That is incredible.
That I just had.
You should.
I should get royalties for this.
I would watch that movie. Think about how cool would that be if other people come up. The internet is an amazingly creative place when people are just let.
It can be used for a lot of good.
Yes, it can.
So a lot of bad.
What do you think?
Okay.
What's your last one?
So my last one, and I picked ones that were like supposed to be like big blockbusters because like if it's a crummy movie and you have crummy special effects, I get it. Like it's on par for the course. My last one. Do you remember the James Bond movie? Is the last Pierce Brosnan, Die Another Day. He is going skiing down that mountain, and then he has a parachute. He's paragliding / skiing across a tsunami.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just like
awful. But his hair's not messed up. He's holding on to those two little pulley things.
It may be one of the like I just remember anytime I'm watching a movie and then I get out of it, I'm like, I look around and I'm like, where am I? What is this?
Yeah. What are we watching?
What is life?
That was sad. It's almost sad.
Yeah.
But can you imagine though? You're there as an actor and you're in front of this green screen. Like, all right, the big avalanche behind you. Now you're going. Maybe more intense, Pierce. Come on.
No.
It's like, no, this is what you get.
This is how I do things.
This is all you get.
This is how I do it.
I don't know who wins that one.
I was at Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, we had a really good pitch for Doubtfire, Mr. Doubtfire 2. We had a great pitch for that.
Yeah,
we already did say Cats is terrible. I honestly think Avatar doesn't hold up.
Oh, I
didn't like it to begin with.
Me neither.
But I definitely don't like it now.
Your Smurfs 2 joke about Avatar may be my favorite joke that I've heard.
That's exactly what it is.
That's incredible.
A bunch of blue people.
Bunch of blue people.
All right. Guys, this has been the Visual Effects Crisis. Hopefully this helps you understand what's going on out there. We did.
I think we fixed it by complaining about it. That's what I think how that works.
I don't know if this is how complaining works.
Yeah,
that's
you just complain to your friend about it, and that's how you fix stuff.
30 minutes, I just complained to you.
No, Neil, it's 43.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Make sure you come back on Thursday for a bonus episode.
Or else we will come to your house. Mm-hmm. You'll turn around. We'll be standing right there, and we'll go, do you want to listen to the episode with me? And we'll have corded headphones.
That's what we're going to do.
That we'll plug into your phone. I'll listen to one, you listen to one, and I'll just watch your face.
Yeah, we're going to look for your reaction.
See if you like what we say.
And you're going to nod the whole time. Like,
yeah. And then if you don't get it, I'll go, do you like that? Do you get it? Do you get it? Why that started? Do you get the reference? With the letter S.
Did you get it? Yep.
Thank you guys so much for coming to my TED Talk.
Thanks.
Say bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for listening to Tyler and Neil Explain Everything, officially your 4th favorite podcast. New episodes every Monday and little baby bonus episodes every Thursday. Subscribe to the podcast and protect your ferns from Tyler. Looks like you made it.